Well, good afternoon, everybody. I must admit, it does feel a little bit later in the day because I was up a bit early this morning and I'm feeling it a little bit today. But it's all good because we're going to just spend an hour chilling out and relaxing. I don't have Leslie today making me a cup of tea, so I'm definitely going to miss that. But I do have some water here with me, so I'm all good and ready to go. So please, anything in the background if you hear, I'm in the other side of the green room. So, what happens in the green room, it stays in the green room. So let's not worry about that. There's a few in today, but we're all socially distanced, so it's absolutely fine. So, okay, what we're going to be doing then? Cream tile. To be honest, I've got the basics with me because, of course, everything's set up in the studio at the minute. So please feel free, if you want to use a different colour, do something a bit different, that's absolutely fine. So, okay, thank you, Sue, appreciate that. It was a bit early, and I'd only had one cup of tea, so you know what I'm like with my drinks. So what I've done, I've got my pen, I've got my pencil and tortillon, and I've also brought with me my coloured pencils, just in case we get round to doing a little bit. So, all right, deep breath. Oh, nice and relaxed and chilled. Are we good to go? I haven't even said what number it is. I've already written it out and everything, Luke, already. 108. Oh, hi, thanks everybody. If you were up this morning to watch, I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, we work really hard to bring different things, and I do love this kit. I say that with all of them, I know, but something about clocks. It's there in my logo in Broad Daylight, and you notice that if you have got the club badge, then that's a clock as well. So, okay. All right then, here we go. 4 dots. So I've worked out I'm going to put a border in, but I'm going to do it quite lightly, and I'm not going to do something straight. I'm actually going to do something a little bit different. Being that, we can. So here we go. I'm just going to work my way around it and there. Okay. And turn around. Just deep breaths as we're going. There's no rush. Just take it nice and easy. Okay, in the next one. I think sometimes it's nice to sort of go with the flow, isn't it? And not worry about trying to create something straight-ish. It's still a border. There we go. I'm just going to do perhaps another one there that can join in there. And I might decide that, I'm going to change that a little bit later, but for now, it's going to be there. Okay. Here we go then. Straight in with a pen. All right. Oh, Sally, are you wearing your badge? I do. I have got mine on. Okay. I'm going to pick one of the corners. I'll stick with the one I've got. That's absolutely fine. Let's go a little bit larger. Here we are. Okay. And I'm just going to come in and I'm going to add a bit of a bubble in here. Now I'm sort of sketching it a little bit because I'm making it a little bit of a slightly larger bubble than we normally would have. So there we go. Now if you feel the need that you've got to do that bit in pencil, that's fine, do it in pencil. But there we go. All right, bit of a bubble. So I'm just gonna take it in. I know Martin said he actually liked the shows because he could shut up for a little bit and just let me get on with it. And that suited me too, so it's fine. All right. Now, it depends which way you want to go with this. You might want to sort of stop and wait till I've done the first one and see how you feel. But whether you want to come down bank or whether you want to go up bank, let's have a look. So I'm going to sort of come from this point here. I'm going to go up bank, up, and I'm going to create a little bit of a curve. See, it's sort of coming in like so. There we go. And then I'm just going to bring that down into there. Okay, so we've got this little bit of a shape going on. See how it seems to fold its way underneath. Okay, so if I do one this way now, there we go. I'm just going to come up and along. See, it's a bit larger this time, see? And then in and around. Okay, and then from there I'm just going to go along and bring it back down. You see, this one's gone to a point, that one hasn't. Doesn't really matter so much. As long as it's a lot narrower there than there, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so let's put another one in. I think I'm going to do, let's do one here. So I'm coming off this sort of little bubble again. I'm just going to work my way around and in and back. There we go. You see, this time it differs to the ones we've done before because it's quite further up. We normally come back and round to the bottom, but it's nice to change that a little bit. And again, let's bring that down and into there. Okay. All right, let's have a look at that. See, you can keep turning it round and just sort of having a look at where things are. Spaniel he is. Okay. Oh. All right, let's have another one. See, this one's now going to go underneath. It's going to come out here. And back around. There we go. And then it's going to go under. So you're just going to get a little bit of it at that bottom section there. Okay. And then, there we go. Into here. It round. There we are. And a little bit there. You're not going to see much. It's sort of hidden underneath there. Okay. So let's have another one. Let's go. Oh, so turn it round a bit. Let's have it here. See, I'm going outside of that border. It doesn't really matter. It was only a guide. We can come back and change it later if we need to. Oh, we're having problems with internet. Sorry guys, I am on the CNC Wi-Fi. I'm on as a guest, so it should be fine. I do apologise. Okay, let's turn it round. I think I'm going to have another one. Let's bring it out here. Down and around there. There we go. And in and around. I've not had problems here before with the Wi-Fi, so I hope it sorts itself out. There we go. I do apologise. There's nothing I can do about it. We'll see how we go. I mean, if it's a problem, we could always have another look. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to add in that border that's left. You know, the bits we can see. And then a little bit here. I'm not going to see that bit because it's actually inside one of those lovely little shapes we've created. And then in and around. And just following it along, just as we did before. Just stopping. Where are we going? There we go. So in there to that one. Okay, I'm not going to go down here because obviously this is now part of this, but we don't need to worry about that. We've just done the border. Okay, so let's go a little bit larger. I'm just going to focus on this one. Let's have a look at here. So let's just give it a little bit of a dimension. I'm going to create a little bit of an aura just around and back into that one there. Okay, just like that. And then I'm just going to sort of repeat that just down here, going to the point again, and then down and going to the point again. So it looks like it's sort of folded under. Okay, let's add a little bit of a design. So I'm going to come up and in, and I'm going to create that little curve again, come to nothing, and up, around again, and to nothing, and up and around again. And then let's just add a little line in the middle of those. A little dot on the end. There we go. Little dot. Okay, so coming on the inside here, I'm just going to sort of add a little bit of that pattern in there. You're not going to see much of it, but just so it looks like it's coming up and round. Okay. Let's, I'm not going to do anything else there. I think a couple of little lines there. Okay. So now let's sort of tackle one of these larger ones. So here we go. So again, I'm not going to the point here. I'm going to start from here, just as before, and I'm going to come up and round and just put that little sort of aura in there. There we go, and down there. Just drawn around it a little bit, see? And then down the bottom here, same sort of thing, this one, and then this one down here. There we go. Okay, so if I make that a little bit smaller now, oh, so we can see what we're doing, there we go. Okay, so we've got this one we're working on. I'm going to just come on in now. I'm going to add some sort of little curved lines. There we go. Just creating a bit of a grid. Now if you wanted to do it slightly straight, you could do it straighter, but I'm going to sort of go with the flow and add these little curves in. Okay. And let's do it this way as well. You see where we're just creating that little grid? Now of course, depending on how much space you've got, you might change the size of this. You might go a bit larger or a bit smaller. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so let's go a little bit larger now, so I can just show you what I'm going to do inside each of those. So it doesn't matter where we start, but what I'm going to do is going to start in this one here, and I'm just going to draw a line and a line, and then if I repeat that, so that's my second, and then if I repeat that, and I'm just going to fill in that section. Now again, you might find that you can only get 2 in here, or you might decide, oh, I'm going to get 4. Depends on how big your grid is. You see now why we drew larger sort of shapes. We're going to get these in. So that's going to sort of sit in there like so. I'm just going to fill that in. Let's just bring that one down there. Okay, that's a bit wonky. That doesn't matter. No mistakes, right? There we go. So just going to enjoy now, just filling in these little sections here, and again just adding a little bit of colour. Oh Pat, that's really good news. I'm so pleased. I know they'll get to us all eventually, but it's just really nice that you know, it's starting to filter through, isn't it? Alright, so same again here. Look, I'm not going to get all of the shapes in there. I'm just going to get a little bit. There we go. And put there. See, I've done that one first, just add that round. Okay. And in we go. I must admit, Pat, I think you're the second person I know to have had it, so you're doing really well. It's brilliant. There we are. I know that John's had a text to say they're going to contact him. He had a text saying, click this link to book, but don't click this link because we'll ring you. He's like, do I ring them or do I click the link? I think they're going to ring you, John. So I don't know what he's up to today. He's home alone. He's looking after the dogs, so I don't know which is... Yeah. I don't know what's going on. You know, with it. I don't know who's supervising who, really. Perhaps Seth is in charge today. He's my oldest dog, bless him. But he's keeping an eye on the pair of them. Okay, here we go. Just enjoying creating these little line shapes. Don't worry if they go off a little bit. Oh, see, look, I've gone a completely different way there. There's me saying don't worry if they go off a bit. I'm going to add a few of those in now, just because I can, because it's my work, do I like? There we go. Well, I'm not going to make it look so obvious. I'm not going to put one next to it. Yeah, let's add one in here, look. See, going the other way. It's amazing, look, how you sort of create a different way of doing it, and all of a sudden it looks different. There's nothing stopping you. You can mix and match them however you like. Oh, Chelsea, yes, Benji in charge. My goodness me. I think it would be sausages all round. And how many biscuits can we have? And can I take all my toys out to play? I must admit, I got in last night and I got my hat and gloves and I put them on the stairs thinking I'll take them up in a minute. Then I went back out to the car to sort of empty it, as you do. And the next minute, I've got, let's have a look how this is going to go. It's pointing upwards, isn't it? And the next minute, Benji's there and my hat and gloves are outside, you know, in the wet by the door. I'm like, what are you doing? He thought I needed them, so he brought them back out for me. I was like, no, put them on the stairs so I could take them up out the way. But no, he'd had other ideas, so you can imagine, yeah. Takes things out but then doesn't want to bring them in. Typical little boy. There we go. Now these are getting quite small and I'm going with it, but if you feel that you can't get 3 in, that's fine. See, I'm going to do another one this way, look. If you can't get 3 in, just go with 2, it's fine. Not a problem. So here, just, you know, it might not be all the whole pattern, it might just be, just fill a few little bits in. All right, let's have a look at this so far. Okay. Oh, there we go. So we've got one quite simplistic, but this one's got a little bit more detail in it. Okay, so let's go for decisions to make. I'm going to go for this one, I think. And then this time, instead of putting the oar around, I'm going to find the centre-ish there. And I'm actually going to create a bit of a dotted line. See, dots and dashes, a bit Morse code-like, although I don't know what that says. And Leslie, no, it's not what you're thinking. There we go. So again, like I'm just sort of splitting that area up, just so I can even things out a little bit. Oh, nice, Garth. Did you? We cook sausages at home. We have to cook extra for the dogs. They love them. And they just look at you, you know, with those sad eyes if you don't do them one. Oh, yes. My little boys. They were not happy about getting up this morning, I must admit. It was early. And Seth didn't want to go out, so it was a bit nippy out there. He's like, no, it's too early, Mum. But I'm sure they're fine. Okay. You see, I'm just sort of filling in the gaps wherever I can now. See the one there? Let's go backwards. Okay. Right, a little bit more there, maybe. And then come into this, I'm going to start from here and I'll just bring it up towards that middle section. Take it back down again. And again. And just working it. See here, there's a little bit more space. So I'm going down as far as I can. And then leaving it. There's plenty down there to be getting on with. So let's just sort of work on those areas there. Okay. Alright, so let's have a look at another one. I'm gonna do this one here, I think, this smaller one. Let's just make it a little bit bigger. And let's have a bit of a bubble theme going on with this one. Okay. Now, I know that you're going to know this tangle. It's one of those that we did at the swap. It's our very first swap tangle. So I know Leslie's going to call in at the office today just to make sure the post is okay. Because I know we've been having tiles coming in. There we go. And then, oh Sally, that sounds nice, doesn't it? Black with metallic pens. You might want to also think about bringing in a little bit of pastel pencils for what we're going to do in a bit. But yeah, that would be absolutely lovely. Or, you know, a white chalk pencil, just to see how it goes. So remember this, we've got this heavy sort of band in the centre and then 2 little curves either side. There we go, into this one and then back again. Well, so I'm just going to keep turning it. Now the whole point of turning your tile, and it makes life easier of course because you're not straining to do something that feels unnatural. But yeah, pastels be great. But it just means that actually, oh, I do apologise, I'm off. It does mean that, you know, you're going to get them and slightly different directions, because otherwise you might end up with a little bit repetitive, and we don't really want that. We want to move it about a little bit. There we go. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to go in now, and any of the gaps, those little ones, a little bit too small, so I might just put one line in there. But all those little gaps, let's just fill in. There we go. There we go. Just finishing that off. Adding that little bit of black in there. Okay, so here we go. So remember, this one, we don't see much of it here. We've got this little section here, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a little line there just so I can split this from that section there, just so I know when I'm going to shade that's going to fit in. Alright, let's have a look. Okay, so let's bring in another one. Oh, decisions to make. So we've got a couple of sort of organic, couple of grids. Let's put in another grid here. So let's go in with this one. Now this time I'm going to sort of come out this way. It's just nice to change it up a little bit. It's not very often actually that we do lots of different tangles on one. We sort of have a bit of a theme going. See, that's coming all the way down here, isn't it? But it's nice to sort of do this a little bit. It does, yeah. I mean, imagine doing this in blues and greens and oranges. That'd be quite good, wouldn't it? So in we go with that. So let's have a little bit of a larger view. And where each of these lines cross, what I'm going to do is put just a little square in there. Just fill it in. Same again. Now you see, this was our original border. It doesn't matter now, we don't need it. That's all good. There you go. Same in there. Okay. And I'm just going around now and just doing that one. And every single one. It's a lovely tangle this. Very, very simple, but it's really effective. It works brilliantly. There we go. And of course, if you wanted to, you could use circles here. You could go bigger and do little diamond shapes. You don't have to do the squares. You can fit in whatever you like. So yeah, that's Victorian tiles, isn't it? Victorian floor tiles. There we go. See in here, I didn't quite join them up. That's fine. I'm still going to put the little shapes in there. There we go. Oh, there'll probably be one down there. Alright, let's have a look at where we're at then so far. Okay, not bad. So let's bring in, let's do this one. Again, I'm going to just, let's have a look. Yeah, I'm just going to bring in that line. And you notice with this line, I'm not taking it all around the shape. I'm just going to sort of stop it about there. And then here, let's just complete that down there and down there. I'm not quite going to see that end bit. Okay, so let's just bring in, I'm just going to put a little bit of a curl. Let's go round and back. Alright, I'm going to make that a little bit larger so you can just see that. And then here we go again, down and round and back on myself and round. Okay, and same again. Same, just going around and back, so making these little curly shapes. So another one here. See, round as such, and back on myself, and then back around, and then let's have another one here. See, that's going to slightly go underneath that one. There's something really nice about putting things underneath each other. It just adds to that sort of depth, and it makes it look a little bit more three-dimensional. It just helps it out. So of course, when you put your pencil in, it is going to look more 3D anyway, but just having things going under and over, it just works quite well. See, I've got quite a lot of gaps out there, and usually I'd fill them with bubbles. But I think for today, I'm going to come in and I'm just going to fill it with lines. Again, depending on how much space you've got. If they're really close together, they're going to look a bit sort of heavier than if you space them out. So let's just work that one down there. Again, I could change the direction, you know, for each section. I could do them differently, but being that it's nice to, you know, just to stay in one place without turning it too much. I'm just going to work it in. There we go. And then into that section. You see how different it looks compared to when we use bubbles with it. I mean, you could actually create, you know, the tangle we've just done, like the floors. You could put that behind here as well. That would give it a different look, wouldn't it? There we go. Oh, sorry Shirley for Wi-Fi's up. I think it's probably here. There's not a lot I can do about it because I'm on the guest Wi-Fi, but I do apologise if we're struggling. Okay, with this one then, you see here, it's a difference. I've got a couple of them that have got this extra line and a couple that haven't. It depends how you feel as to whether you want to do it or not. I think with this one, I think I'm gonna, let's have a look. I'm gonna put that line back in. You can have them all the same if you want to. You could have everyone different. It's nice to sort of bring in a few tangles in that you might like. And of course, you know, it's one of those things that if you think, oh, I'm not quite sure where to go here, then we could easily, you know, bring in the dice and the 20 different tangles on there, and you could fill it in that way. So here we go. I'm just coming in now with some random lines. Let's have one there. I'm going to do the same down here. Look, just crossing them over. I'm not going to go too small. Okay. And let's go up again. And let's just go around that shape. Right, see, I'm not trying to fit it exactly to the lines. I'm just giving that a little bit of curl on the end, so just curving around those corners and leaving those lines that I really drew at the beginning exposed there. Okay, and back in and around, and just keep going, working my way around into all of those shapes. There we go. And then we go into that one. Just doing the same again. Now if you find that some of them you think, oh, it's a little bit big, just add another line in and create a new shape. But I'm not going to go too small in this section. There we go, just working my way around. In we go. So at this point you could colour in between these little shapes, or you can leave it exposed. It's entirely up to you, whatever you want to do there. Alright, I'm just going to come back to this one. You see here that I did this? I've still got this section here. So again, let's just come on in and add a couple of those little shapes in. See, I missed it. There we go. And see where the lines are going that way? I think I'm going to go a different direction, just so it looks like it's sort of folded over there. There we go. That's that one done. Okay, so this is where we're at so far. Okay, now if you want to, you could actually add more of those shapes in. It's entirely up to you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a bit of an aura in those shapes that are left. So I'm just drawing around that blank space. It's sort of filling in the negative areas, I would suppose. And then same in here. There we go. And let's have this one. See, that's going to go. I'm not going to go right deep into those corners. I'm just creating new spaces. There we go. And let's have one in there. Oh, a little bit more. Let's see. So I've got this quite a large area, as I say. If you want to add another one of those lovely shapes, or like the fishy kind of tails in there, you can do so. You can add as many as you like. But, there we go. and then just fill in the spaces like this. All right, going around that one. And a couple more here, look. Just a little one there. And then a little one here. In we go. And along. Just now going into those centered little bits there. Little one there. And in. See, this one I'm actually going to stop there. I'm going to create 2 areas. See, one there and one there. It depends on what yours is like in terms of spacing and what you've got going. Okay. So looking at these areas here, I'm just going to come in and fill this one because it's quite small with bubbles. See? And then just fill in the areas that are left. Don't have any more really small ones. Yeah, I've got one here, look. Just fill it with bubbles and fill in the space that you've got left. And then I think I'll do the same. I've got 2 here. So there we go, one in there. Go. And then let's fill this one in. There we go. In there. And in there. And that sounds like Dawn's back. Not that she sounds like a trolley. As a trolley just wheeled back. Okay, so here we go. I've filled it. Oh, I've got another little one there. Look, let's just going to fill that with bubbles. There we go. All right. So let's look at these spaces now, these gaps. I'm just going to have a little bit of fun now. I'm not going to fill it totally with bubbles, but I'm going to do a few sort of spaced out. There we go. A few in there, not many. I'm not going to try and keep them the same. Just in little sections. There we go. And same here. Let's have a large one there. Gosh, I'm quite impressed with that one. That went quite well. There we go. All right. Last one here. Oh, Lindsay, no, it wasn't. That was Dawn coming back out the studio with all her equipment. There we go. All right, so let's just make this a little bit larger now. I'm going to sort of start. Remember, we've put these lines. So I've got my tile sort of diagonally. And I'm just going to create a bit of a wavy line. And join that one to there. You see? Now, I can continue to do the wavy lines and go across. But here, I'm just going to go round it. See? And then this next one, I can go around it. I'm going to stop there. So it's almost like it depends, you can either go straight through or round or a little bit of a mixture of both. You see, it changes the line a little bit. Okay? Right, let's move on to the next one. So again, I'm just going to pick one as my centre point. And it's going to come down here and down there. You see how it sort of fits in there? And then here, down again. I'm going to go round that one, and around that one, and around that one. See this one, it's too far for me to come round at the minute, so I'm just going to go straight through. We'll then follow that round. Yeah, I suppose, yeah, just a little bit wood-like. See, now I can bring it round. There we go. And then work on this section here. So I'm going to work. Now here, too far to go round there, but I can go round this one. Okay. Again, that's going to go straight through, but that's going to go round. That one I'll take round this time. You see how it sort of changes the shape of the lines you sort of create. It creates these lovely little contours and changes things up a little bit. Yeah, Lorraine, do you think there's a little bit of a theme going on at the minute? No, it must be what mood I'm in. You know, planets and things, and I don't know. I think things change, don't they? And it's whatever you feel at the time. I think this is the great thing of working on tiles, because they're small and you can keep them, and it sort of gives you a little bit of a memory, I suppose. You think, oh, I remember when I did that. It was at this particular time, and you know, it was that particular stencil I'd done at the time, and It's just a nice sort of remembrance thing. There we go, see it around there? And here, I mean, come on, who'd have thought I'd have been doing tile 108 in a third lockdown? Crazy. But we love it, absolutely love it. Okay, so I'm going to go through that one, but I'm going to follow that one round. There we go. There are no set rules, you can go around all of them, you can go through all of them. I'm just not going over them. So whatever you feel, whatever you're comfortable with, there we go, see. And say a bit of a wavy line, I'm going to go round that one. See how it just sort of changes, it gives it a little bit of movement. There we go. And just little bits in those. It's getting quite busy now, isn't it? And then, yeah, rocks in a stream. We've got them all today. There we go. And do you know what doesn't feel like a Friday? I keep feeling like it's Saturday. Don't know why. Well, it just means when I wake up tomorrow, it's going to feel good because it's going to be Saturday tomorrow. So, yeah, busy Saturday, I think. It's going to be a good one. There we go. I'm just going to sort of fill those bits in. So now we've got quite a full shape. I've just spotted here, look. Just going to add some bubbles in there because it's quite a fine little gap. There we go. So I'm just going to put my pen down for a moment. Let's have a look at where we're at with that. Okay. So coming in with my pencil, regular pencil. And doesn't matter which one we do first. Let's go in with this one. I'm just going to bring it a little bit of pencil in there. And then a little bit of pencil around here. See, that's a bit goes underneath. And then I'm going to do a little bit of pencil there. Now you notice that I've not actually gone right to the line. Just giving it a little bit of an extended smirk. Okay. Same with this one. Now I'm just going to put a little bit there. And then this one, I'm going to get this. Of course, I'm going to come back in with a white pen and add some highlights to that. And again, same here. I'm not going to focus too much on the tangle that's underneath it. I'm just adding some pencil over the top. I'm even going to maybe add a little bit, around there. Okay. Same in this one. Okay, so let's add some round there and in here. Actually, I think that it looks quite nice just to have a little bit of shading on there too. There we go. And I'm going to turn that one round and I'm going to shade it the other way as well. There we go. Okay, then this one. Again, I want a little bit in there. And now I can see the bottom of this one, so a little bit there. Just a little bit around there. Same with this one. Right around there. Again, this one I'm going to add a little bit on there as well. Underneath and down at that bottom. And then, same with this one. You see, that's where that original border was. And let's have a little bit down there. Okay, let's have a look where we're at with that. Okay, tortillon then. In we go. So I'm just going to soften the edge here a little bit. See, I don't want to go all the way into that white, so I'm just going to help move it a little, just give it a little bit of a highlight. And then here, I'm just going to swoop it round. Give it a little bit there, look, and swoop it. So my highlight really, there we go, there's a little bit in here. See, and I've got that little edge around as well. And then, again, same in here. Just going to work that round, soften it off a little bit. I'm turning it round. And then again, I'm just going to go around that edge. Gives it a little bit of a step maybe. And then again, not worrying too much about the tangle underneath. Okay. And then underneath there, just as before. This one then, a little bit change here. I'm just going to sort of go over those lines that I did on the little grid there. So there's plenty to be going on in there. And then that way, So I'm not particularly taking that anywhere, it's just going over the lines, and then put that one in. There we go. And that one. And just steadily working my way around. Just be careful not to put your hand over it, because once you put your graphite on, it can spread if you put your hand on it. And let's just do this one while I'm here. There we go, see there, and there as well. Again, leaving that little gap in the middle there. Round we go, into that bit there, and then again. See, just nice and gentle swirls. There we go. And then into this one, swirls again. Now again with this one, let's just put that little bit in. I could just add a little bit of graphite, you see, just on each one of those squares. There's plenty on your tortillon, you don't need to add in more pencil really, it just gives it a little bit of something there. Okay, let's just have a quick look at this. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry if we didn't get to show you pictures. I think sometimes it depends on the producer, and I don't know. I don't have any say in it, so I'd love to show them all, but I don't know if they save them up or what they're gonna do. You see here, I've just added a little bit of pen in, just where that little sort of fold over comes, just to sort of reiterate it a little bit. There we go. Just do that on each one. It's just about putting that pen line back in. Just gives it that bit of definition, doesn't it, that it needs. So again, I'm not really seeing one there, although I haven't really going with that there. A little bit here, look. See, just on that. I'm not drawing all the way around it again. It's just in a couple of areas, just to sort of bring it back out. And then here, of course, it's a little bit tricky with that one because it's very, very heavy with the black there. Okay, a little bit maybe there. There we go. Okay, so far that's where we're at. But you sort of think, well, I've got all these bubbles. I've got this big bubble here, and I've still got the background. So, you know, what are we going to do with that? So, okay, let's bring in a bit of colour. So I've got my red. I've got a yellow. Let's bring in an orange then, and some white. It's just my white is a little bit smaller than the others. So let's start with the little bubble there. So I think what I'm going to do, just to start, seeing that I've got that board, I'm just going to get rid of that little pencil line there. There we go. Okay. And then let's go in with the red first. I'm just going to come in, add some red just around that bottom edge. Okay. So I've not really pressed on at the minute. I'm just taking it easy. Let's just define where we're going to put the colours. So here we go. He's in with the orange. I'm just swirling it round. Let's just take that a little bit further up there. And then let's bring in the yellow. So it's gone a bit further up, you see. Definitely leaving a little bit of a gap. See that little mark, a little bit left in the centre. I've got my white. I'm just going to come on in with that and just swirl it round so it's sort of helping to blend in with that yellow. Taking it a little bit further over. So then let's come back in with the yellow. See, this time I'm keeping in with that shape all the time. Just adding a little bit more pressure as I go. Okay, see the bit in that orange? And it's all about, now it's getting quite creamy because there's quite a bit on, but just keep building. It's not about putting it on all at once, it's about just building those layers. Okay, a bit more red. There we go. Just working it round. I go back to my orange now. You see now it's just about it all blending together. There we go. And back to the yellow. See, now I'm adding a little bit more pressure as I go. And then back into the white. Okay, so it's still not quite, it's there, but we need to come in with, I'm going to use a little bit of blue, the dark blue. I'm just going to add some round that bottom edge. Just ever so gently bring it in. There we go. Now, I know a lot of gems and things, when you look, they use black, and that's absolutely fine if you want to do that. It's just that using the blue or the purple, or even a dark green, it just sort of keeps it warm, the colours wise. It doesn't take that edge away. Let's have a look at that. Alright, there we go. And don't forget, I'm going to come back in with that white pen in just a short while. But before we do that, I'm going to stick with my red. Let's go in a little bit larger. There we go. Okay, so let's just have a look at these background sections. Let's come on in, and I'm just going to work from one point and just add in some colour there. Just around that edge. See, I've not done all. I've left some little lights there. Let's continue with the red. So I'm going around here. Now, of course, you could go in and you could add some, let's have a look where that's going. There we go, it's there. And you could have just done the bubbles if you wanted to. I think I'm going to do something different today. It's all about, you know, pushing those boundaries a bit and trying something a bit different. There we go. Right, this one here. It sounds like we're having trouble sleeping, everybody. Kind of a bit of one of them. Mind you, I always get a little bit, you know, scared that the alarm won't go off and they'll ring me and say, where are you? And I should have been on air and I'm still in bed. That would be quite frightening, because it's a 2-hour drive. And I think, you know, when you know you've got to be up and awake, you're constantly worrying about the time, you know, aren't you? So, yeah. Just going to add a little bit of orange. I'm not going to try and blend this. It's just adding a touch of colour there. I want just a bit of texture, just to sort of give it something different. And of course, usually we'd add colour to bring something out, and it wouldn't necessarily be the background. But again, this is just giving it that little bit of a change, and making it a bit different. So you might decide that you want to go back to one of your tiles that you did previously and try this section as well and do it this way. See, just a little bit of yellow. Again, I'm not going to overdo this, just a little bit. Of course, if you've got your pastels and you're using your black, then you could still do this, and you'd just use the tortillon just to soften it all around the edges. But of course, pencils, it just takes a little bit more. So there we go, a little bit of colour. And back in with that white. What I'm going to do with the white this time, I'm just going to do what we call burnish it. And I'm just going to go over all the colours, and it's just going to help work them in together. So it's not about really applying the colour, it's just about helping them to sort of move together a little bit. There we go. So it's still, you know, a little bit of a rough texture, but it's just giving it that little bit of help just to sort of merge those colours a little bit more. It's not blending them completely, just giving them a helping hand, just sort of softening off the edges a little bit, I suppose. There we go. And a little bit there. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to work my way back to my regular pencil. And we've got that in. I'm just going to add a little sort of smirk, a little side smile on those larger little bubbles. There we go. And we are. Actually, I'm even going to add one, you know, onto the original border that we did there. There we go. Back in with that tortilla. And just smooth around them a little bit. There we go. Okay. So let's just add a couple more in there. You see, I'm not overly doing this, it's just about adding just a touch, you know, because you still want that little bit of white on the edge there. There we go, a little bit there. Okay, not far off now. It's going out a little bit. There we go. So I'm just going to take my pencil and just add a little bit of it round the outer edge. Just going to not take it too far around there. I'm not going to go all the way around that. Okay. Yeah, happy birthday, Sue. Hope you're having a good day. Oh, pencils being used. I'm using the Brunswick regular coloured pencils. The set of 12. It means you don't have to sort of panic about what colours to use. Okay, just going to go around now gently. And just... So I'm just going to go over that one. Add a little bit of shadow. There we go. Getting around. You see, I'm really gentle. There's very, very little pressure going on this. But of course, depends on what tile you're using. If you're using a super smooth, you know, one of the coloured, then you might want to be a little bit gentler with your pencil and a little bit more pressure with your tortillon. But you get to know the papers you're working on. So it's entirely up to you where you go with it. Okay. All right. I've not forgotten, I've still got to go back in with a white pencil, pen. I'm going to do that in a little bit. No, the pastel's not, Chelsea. Oh, but they are brilliant. It's just about having it. Use your pastels like you would your regular pencil. So put your colour where your regular pencil would go, and then use your tortillon to soften the edges of it. So yeah, it's a little bit scary to sort of start with, but you know what, give it a go. Get them out and give them a try. You don't have to use them just on your black papers. I mean, they do work particularly well on the darker colours, but give it a go on other things as well. And it means you don't have to blend them like you do regular pencils. So once you get used to using them, it's you know, pretty cool, really. Okay. There we go. And perhaps in one of the tiles next week I'll use the pastels. I know I've used them before, but I'll use them and so you can see where they're headed. Okay, so far so good. I think actually now I'm just going to bring that one in. Like, I'm just going to bring that line in. You see there, just to sort of give that a bit of depth. And then here, let's just reintroduce that line. So I'm not going to do all. So that doesn't really need much. You know, just those there. Yeah, that's probably, maybe this one here, because it's out in front, isn't it? There we go. So yeah, I do have a white pen. Here we go. I'm going to come in a little bit more. And first thing I'm going to do is just add a little bit of a, you see, just dotting it a bit over the top there. A bit of a line. Just follow the curve. Okay. And then coming over here to my little balls there. Just going to add in that little line. So if you've done the tile swap, I bet you're so used to doing this pattern now, because that was the tangle that we used. Okay, so let's have a look. All right, so a little bit different, something for a change there. I'm just going to come back in. You see there, I've got that. I've gone over with that red. That's fine, but I'm just going to work my way around them. Okay, so I'm going to just add a little signature in there. There we go. So now you might decide, you know, to have a go at this, but you know, you might want to try maybe a different micron pen. I know there I've used a black pen, which is the most regular, but what if you were to use a brown one? Let's just move that up a little bit there. There we go. Look at that. Very, very similar patterns, and I've used very similar colours, maybe not so much of the red there, but you can see that just adding the brown just tones it down a little bit, makes it a little bit softer. So it's just a bit of a change. And of course you can see here that this is the ball that I did without the extra bit of blue round and the highlight, and you can see what kind of a difference that makes. and then just adding those extra little bits and pieces just changes it up a little bit. So there we go, tile 108, my goodness me. So oh, Caroline, just so happens with the dies, I've managed to get more in. I've got more in of all of them. So every die I brought last year, which is only 4 every die, and the stamps, I'm back in here on Tuesday with those, with more demos. So yeah, I've got those coming back. So okay, deep breath. If you want to go and put your feet up, cup of tea in hand, and give this one a go, try it out, try a different thing. You might even decide that you want to use the colour actually on the shapes that we created and leave the background in monochrome. It's going to give you a completely different feel as well to doing that one. So don't forget, as long as your tiles are in, if you're going to swap by the 3rd, you're good to go. So you've still got a little bit of time if you want to do that. But other than that, have a good time with this one. Have fun with it, and enjoy. And if you're around later this afternoon, then I'm back on with some more demos. I'm actually on the next show. I'm going to do some a little bit more advanced, just showing you what other things you can do with them and just how you can take them on a little bit. But yeah, that'd be great. So have fun with this. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next. Wednesday. All right. Well, yeah, Wednesday. I will see you then. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye.